It's Sunday, December 6th here at the West End Gun Club. I'm out here at the Rimfire Range to run through the December 2020 NRL22 Course of Fire. So we're not actually going to have the match this month at the West End Gun Club because we had to cancel last month as well due to the fact that the club has put a stay on all the matches for the time being due to all of the the current scenario with regards to California and the coronavirus COVID-19 mitigations. So no matches, but I still wanted to run through the Course of Fire just for my own benefit and just record some footage of kind of a walkthrough on how I would run the stages as far as shooting it, and how difficult I think they are. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get set up. I'm not the only one here at the range, just another member here with his kid, and they're shooting on the other side. So I'm probably just gonna set up 1 or 2 stages at a time so I don't occupy the entire range when I normally would when I set up all 5 stages. So I'm just gonna probably set up 1 or 2 at a time and then swap them out as I shoot the next 3. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and unload my gear, unload the conex container, and we'll start shooting. I have to stand away from my rifle because there's another conversation going on with the other shooters, so I didn't want to have them on camera while I'm speaking. So anyway, the first stage we're going to run through is called Holiday Card Tricks. It's going to be with the 2 banks of targets, the 50-yard with all 4 KYL targets, 1 inch, 3 1/4 inch, the 1/2 inch, and the 1/4 inch. Then a 3 inch on a single hanger at 100 yards. So the KYL at 50 and the 3 inch at 100. So you're going to have 1 piece of equipment in accordance with NRL22 rules, 10 points per impact, 100 points possible, so it's 10 shots. You're going to start standing at table 10 feet away from the firing position, rifle grounded, mag in hand. So you're going to have you're going to be standing next to a table, and your rifle's going to be 10 feet away on the ground, and you're going to have your own magazine in your hand. On the start signal, the shooter will randomly draw 1 of 5 cards off of the table, ace, king, queen, jack, or joker. Shooter will then go to the rifle, insert the mag, and fire 2 shots at the correct target from a prone supported position. So the ace refers to the 1/4 inch, the king is a 1/2 inch, the queen is a 3/4, the jack is a 1 inch, and the joker is a 3. You just have to remember that. And then once the shooter fires their 2 shots, the shooter will return to the table to get another card. Shooter will continue in this fashion until all rounds are fired. Pretty straightforward. It's just remembering which target that the ace, king, queen, jack, and joker correspond to. And that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and just try it, and we'll see how it goes. So it appears I timed out. I didn't get 2 shots off on the last target, which is the king. which should have been the 1/2 inch. The issue at hand is you technically, I'm not sure if you're supposed to, it says you have to go to the table to get each card. The thing is, once you get the second to last card, you know the one card that's left on the table. So you're actually just going back to the table as in the spirit of it. I'm not sure if you can just game it and not go back to the table, but I think you're required to go back to the table for all the cards, regardless if you know what that last card's going to be by process of elimination. So I dropped one shot, missed. I dropped one shot that I missed at the 1/4 inch KYL, and then I've missed 2 rounds that I didn't get off because I timed out. Interesting stage of fire. Technically my table is farther than 10 feet, but I don't think that would have made much of a difference. I think I shouldn't have dialed for the joker. I should have probably just went ahead and held above for elevation. I think I lost a couple seconds in that manner. And I think also with the KYL, when the target's spinning, after each shot, I had to wait at least 4 seconds for a couple of those targets. So I lost some time there. Yeah, that's kind of how that played out. So you may or may not have the same conditions with that KYL rack at your match. If for some reason the KYL spin a lot and you have to wait for them to settle down, you could lose some time there. Not sure what else to say on this one. It's just all about efficiencies on this stage. We're going to go ahead and wait for a break, then we'll set up for the next stages. The next stage of fire we're going to run through is called peeking under the Christmas tree. It's going to be using the tank trap for this stage. Only one target. It's a 3 inch at 90 yards. We got one piece of equipment in accordance with NRL22 rules, 10 points per impact, 120 points possible. So it's 12 shots. So you're going to need a mag change if you don't have anything over 10. So you're going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, the shooter will take a position on the left leg. I'm assuming they're meaning the bottom portion, because that's what they usually mean whenever they say left leg. Shooter will then fire 2 shots at the target. Shooter will then take a prone supported position under the tank trap and fire 2 shots. So you'll shoot underneath the tank trap. Shooter will then use the right leg of the tank trap and fire 2 shots at the target. So I guess you'll try to shoot off of this. This tank trap is very small. I didn't bring my big bracket so I can use my 8-foot leg. So we'll make do. We'll try to shoot it. And then shooter will then move to the right tip of the tank trap. So right tip, 2 shots, then transition to the center of the tank trap, 2 shots, and then the shooter transition to the left tip of the tank trap, 2 shots. So the way this is, I'm probably gonna have to reorient this to the target. So to at least shoot the center, I'll have to have it slightly offset. So for this purpose, I may consider this right tip, right leg, left leg, even though that's, I don't know. It's how you want to interpret it, but I'm going to just say that for a match director standpoint, the left and right will be indicated by the center line of the tank trap. So left tip, right leg, left leg, underneath, center. Seems pretty straightforward. There's only one target, not much to do here. So just dial in for 90 and shoot away. So let's go ahead and try it. So I did not get off that last round. Literally, sorry, the mic's away from me. I literally didn't get off that last round. Timer shows 120.10. So 1/10 of a second. I dropped a round off the center and I left the round. So I saved one round. So it's dropped 2. So 100 points out of 120. Let me go ahead and clip this mic to me. So the interesting aspect of this stage of fire is it's not very difficult to remember your positions. Just think of it this way, counterclockwise. So looking at the target, you're going to start left leg underneath target, underneath tank trap, right leg, right tip, center, left tip. So you're just going in a circle counterclockwise. That's the easiest way to remember it. The bag was used, I think I should have not used the bag off the center. I think I wasted a couple seconds. It would have been easier if I just let my bipod sit like this and shoot. I will hopefully, my GoPro mount that I have here, I don't think it was in the way, but it didn't provide any extra support here. So for those of you watching this video, that GoPro mount didn't do anything for me. Pretty much I just used the bipod as my rest. So I should have just not used the bag off the center of the tank trap. That would have saved me those seconds that I needed to get my last round off. Lessons learned. If I were actually going to have the match, I would definitely not use this tank trap. I would probably use my bracket with longer legs. It looks like you're not going to be able to see the target through the scope due to how low this is, but amazingly enough, you're able to see it even though it looks like it's blocking it. So I was able to see the target full view. But I'll definitely run a larger leg tank trap. I think this is a 5-foot leg. I would probably run 7-foot legs, because if I use an 8-footer, to be honest, I'm so short that I can't shoot off the tip of an 8-foot leg tank trap. So I'll probably have to make something for people who are a little bit vertically challenged, such as myself. Maybe 6-foot legs instead of 5-foot legs, or 7-foot legs. And that should work out. Anyway, that was an interesting stage. I actually like that one, even though I saved a round. But I think it's a good way to exercise your tank trap capabilities. And I honestly might actually use this drill. I might actually use this stage as a drill for when I practice. I would try doing this, because that's a very good way. Just 2 shots, 2 shots, 2 shots, 2 shots, 2 shots, 2 shots, and just keep going in a circle. That's a nice little drill. So credit to NRL22 for a nice stage. All right, let's go and move on. The next stage of fire we're going to run through is called Stacking Presence High. It's going to be 120 seconds as usual, 10 rounds. We have 2 banks of targets, a 2-inch at 75 yards and a 2.5-inch at 100 yards. 10 rounds total, as mentioned. You're going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand. Mag in action open. Upon start signal, shooter will take prone supported position and shoot 1 shot in each target near to far, so 75 to 100. Shooter will then go 10 feet behind the shooting line and grab one of 3 cinder blocks and place it on the line. Shooter will engage each target 1 shot from the top of the cylinder block, so I'm assuming repeat near to far. Shooter will then retrieve a second cylinder block and place it on top of the first cinder block and engage each target off of the cinder block stack with 1 shot, so near to far again. Shooter will repeat with block 3, but take 2 shots on each target off the top of the cinder block stack of all 3 blocks. So you may have to, you may start prone, and you may end up either shooting a weird prone or a kind of like a kneeling, quasi-squatting position. It's relatively straightforward. It's just going to be an exercise. Let's go ahead and try it and see how it goes. timed out, but I'm going to shoot those. So I timed out, but I'm going to fire off these 3 rounds. Interesting stage. Sorry. So that was a very interesting stage. I didn't think I was moving too slow. Maybe I was. So as far as the way this stacks up, so I'm running my GoPro on this mount, right? So it kind of affects the way I have my gun configured. But I think I would have set it up the same way. I probably should have just continued jamming my bipod against the front end instead of on that last portion trying to stack it on top. I think I might have been able to get away with this, jamming it forward and trying to shoot maybe even a sitting position here. If you're on a flat range, this would probably be better, but we're shooting at an incline, so this is not as easy as shooting it like I was earlier with a kneeling, although I think I can get a pretty decent position here. Actually, this would have worked. So maybe I would have shot it like this. Yeah, I should have shot it like that. So I saved 3 rounds, which is pretty bad. Not sure what to say about this. I think you should know ahead of time how you're going to shoot this. I definitely agree that you should probably go ahead and try to shoot it the same way every time. So instead of a bipod on top for one, like bipod on the ground is the only way that you're gonna have to go. But when you have the first cinder block, you don't want to have the bipod, I don't think, on top of the cinder block. Maybe you can, but I just feel like you should probably just run your gun on the cinder block the same way for each level, so it's consistent and you're not changing it up. I would definitely try this at home if you can, in your garage, to see how you're going to stack and transition from block to block as it stacks up. But this is a pretty interesting stage. So I didn't miss any shots, but I did save 3, so I dropped 30 points there. Let's go ahead and move on to the next stage. The next stage of fire we're going to run through is called Santa's training program. 120-second part time, 10 rounds. 2 banks of targets. We only have a 1.5 inch at 65 and a 2 inch at 85. 1 piece of equipment in accordance to NRL22 rules, 10 points per impact, 100 points possible. You're going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. Upon start signal, shooter will take a position on the second lowest rung of the ladder and fire 3 shots at the 1.5 inch target. Shooter will then ascend the rooftop and engage the 1.5 inch target with 2 shots, then the 2 inch with two shots. Shooter will then go back to the ladder and shoot the 2 inch target off the 4th rung with 3 shots. So 3 at 1.5, 2 1.5, 2 at 2 inch, 3 at 2 inch. So you're working your way up. It's pretty straightforward. It's just making use of the ladder in the rooftop stage. Let's go ahead and just try it out and see how it goes. able to finish that stage of fire with 93 seconds left on the clock, which is pretty good. The rooftop stage, I just think my rooftop barricade that I built does definitely have a steep incline. I think it's 30 degrees. I have grip on there, but it is challenging. So it's not exactly easy, but it's not overly difficult at the same time. So it's a good balance. I was able to stay on the gun, able to get my shots off the barricade. The only problem, if I were going to hold the match, is the fact that given the way we're shooting at this incline, on the incline, the targets are above us, slightly above us, that the opposite side of the ladder, there's that little rung there for the support side. It's obscuring the view a little bit. I am very, very cautious though that somebody might actually hit that. So I would probably have to remove that off this ladder and re-rivet it slightly higher, I don't know, or lower. But that is a problem given our range logistics. But on a flat range, it's not gonna be a problem because you're just shooting straight forward. Anyway, it's a pretty interesting stage. I think most people should have no problem with it. It's just figuring out where on the barricade you're gonna be able to rig up your rifle so that you can get it stable enough. Anyway, that's it for this stage. I think we'll have one more stage to try out. The last stage of fire we're gonna run through is called the left-handed elf. 120-second part time, 10 rounds. We have 4 sets of targets, a 1-inch at 52, a 1.5 inch at 76, 2-inch at 88, and a 2.5 inch at 100 yards. So from the title, you can kind of get an indicator it's going to be a support side stage. This is also going to be the bonus stage, so if you finish with extra time on the clock, that gets you 1/10 of a point per second remaining. So you're going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand, mag in action open. On start signal, the shooter will take a prone supported position and engage all targets from the support side in the following manner. 1-inch target, 2 shots, 1.5 inch target with 3 shots, 2-inch target with 2 shots, 2.5 inch with 3 shots. It's pretty straightforward, just 2, 3, 2, 3, near to far, all from support side. I know a lot of people hate this stage or support sides, but I would take support side shooting over standing any day of the week. So this is probably a pretty straightforward stage. Just learn how to set up your gun and how to acquire cheek weld with your support side. But let's go ahead and run through it. All right, 10 for 10. So I finished 10 for 10 and 81.52 left on the elapsed. So I had just under 40 seconds left. So just under 49. So when you round down or whatever, you get 48 seconds. So I'll get 4.8 points bonus. I'll say that this stage of fire is pretty straightforward. The only thing you got to worry about is that whole 2-3-2, 2-3-2-3 aspect. So if you saw me on my 4th shot, I sort of racked the bolt and I was ready to transition to the next target when I wasn't supposed to. So luckily I didn't move anything. I just rechambered, shot my 5th shot on the 76-yard target, and then continued on. So that's the only thing you got to worry about. It's just that hiccup, and you're accidentally shooting 2-2-2-2 when you should be shooting 2-3-2-3. So that's about it. It's a pretty straightforward stage, support side. I did dial and I did set parallax, but that I didn't lose too much time. I think a better shooter would probably just be able to do it with just parallax and hold over. If you can remember your dope. And I think roughly here it's 7, 0, 7 tenths, 1.3, and 1.7. But although I think I was hitting high on the 76-yard targets, so I came down a little bit, 0.6. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward stage for the left-handed elf. That's not it. That's kind of it. There's more people at the rimfire range. I guess the main range must be packed, but I'm going to go ahead and just start packing up and do some cleanup at the Connex container that I left, because I left a bunch of targets ready to go for the November match sitting in the Connex container that we didn't need. So I'm just going to start kind of storing everything away like I normally would in the Connex container at the end of a match. I'm all packed up, going to get out of here, but before I leave, I'm going to just drive out of the rimfire range and just drive right across here to one of the empty pistol bays here. That's right next to the rimfire range, just to fire off a few rounds with my Model 642, take a couple photos of the revolver for a blog article. I've been here a lot longer than I expected. It's 11:44 right now, but since there's other people in the rimfire range, unlike when I'm usually here, when I'm by myself, I just can't walk out there between stages, right, or before my target setups. And I usually have a lot more time just by myself. I can just set up all the targets and stages. I can occupy the whole range and run through everything. But, you know, I have to share the range. And as much as I like having the rimfire range by myself, it's very nice that there's other people here, right? I mean, we have the rimfire range. We have a lot of members. It's a couple thousand members. I don't know the exact count. But it's an underutilized portion of our facility, is the rimfire range. So I'm glad that people are making use of it. Even though, you know, it means I don't have it all by myself. You know, that's not the whole point, though. It's not my own personal range. It's for the whole club. So glad other people are making use of it. But I did a little bit of cleaning of the Connex container because I left all the targets. I had all the targets lined up, ready to go for the November stage of fire. But since we didn't shoot that match, they've been sitting there in a line since November. So since the beginning of November, I actually came out here on Halloween or the day before Halloween to shoot that course of fire and plan out the whole match. So it's been sitting there in there for over a month. So I just kind of put everything back on a shelf and reorganized everything. But that's that. I'm not sure when I'm trying to come out to the range again just to shoot some pistol. I might meet some colleagues to shoot during the holiday break, because we have 2 weeks off from work because they're literally shutting down campus operations. So we British have 2 weeks off. Granted, I'm in IT security, so we're technically never off. I mean, if something happens during the quote-unquote closure, we still have to respond to it because that's our job, right? Hackers don't take vacations. They don't care. And frankly, this is the best time for malicious actors to try to attack your network or your infrastructures during the holidays when they think people are off work and they're not paying attention to things. So that's kind of a the nuance with IT and IT security. Anyway, that's it for today. Today is, gotta look at my watch, December 6th, Sunday here at the West End Gun Club. We're not going to have the match this month because, again, the West End Gun Club has a stay on all matches, so there's no NRL22 match for December. But again, I just wanted to run through that course of fire for everyone else in the country who actually have matches going on right now. Maybe this will help you get prepared for your the match in your area. Anyway, again, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vlog. That's one word for it.